We're going to make a really easy, quick Christmas ornament that looks like a little beanie on the 22-pin Sentro knitting machine. Once you get the hang of making one of these, you can make it in under 10 minutes. So we'll have a tail around this long, put it in the middle, hook the yarn under the black pin, and we're going to go behind the next pin, in front of the next, behind, and next, behind, and so on, all the way around. And just make sure that that last pin you're wrapping behind. Then put the yarn in the yarn feeder and do 60 rounds. Once you get to the black pin again, cut a tail and throw it into the middle of the machine. And now we're going to do one round with no yarn being fed into the machine. So we're going to stop right there. Use a yarn needle and put this tail through it. And then you're going to go around picking the stitches off one by one and guiding them through this yarn tail. Once you've pulled all the stitches off, take the yarn out of the middle of the machine and give it a pull. This snaps all of the stitches into place and cinches them together. So on the end that you just pulled off, start pulling the tail so that you see the center of that just start to cinch up. Okay, and try to pull it nice and tightly. Thread that tail onto your needle again. And put that needle through the center of the hole. Try to grab it from the inside so that it's just perfectly through the center. Once you get that yarn through, see like the halfway point of this tube and just kind of pinch it with your finger right there and start flipping this inside out. So the part you just cinched is going to come to the other end like that. Now, the tail that we just pulled through from that middle section, make sure that that is still sticking out on the outside. Do not tuck it inside. With the other tail, we're going to start pulling the opposite side. And again, make sure that middle tail is right through the center. So start pulling, and this will start to cinch up too. Pull it nice and tightly. Okay, so now it should look like that. Pull up the tail that was from the inside, just so that the bottom is pulled all the way to the top of the new side. Stick your hand in there and just kind of neaten everything out. Pull these two tails so that they're very tight, and then just secure it with a couple of knots. flip up the brim, and already you see that the beanie is completed. We're going to use these tails as the hanger for the beanie. So, but we're going to hold off on that right now. So do not cut those. Now we're going to make the pom-pom for the top of the beanie. The way we make a pom-pom is actually really easy. You don't need to have any kind of devices to make a pom-pom. All you need is a fork, a pair of scissors, and a needle. So using your yarn, cut a tail around 5 or 6 inches long. Take that tail and put it between the middle tines of the fork like that, and hold it with your hand so that you can't let it go. But I'm going to put this down just so that I can grab the other end of the yarn. With the yarn you're going to make the pom-pom out of, start wrapping it around the fork. Secure the end by holding it with your thumb and just start wrapping around the tines of the fork. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, but you can make your pom-pom as big or as thin as you would like. And you can already see that this yarn sheds like crazy. So now, those two ends that you had put between the tines of the fork, start to take the one end that was back here and flip it through and above like that. This is just the end of the yarn, and tie a very, very tight knot, as tight as you can make it. And double it up. Okay. Now that you've tied your knot, we're going to slide the fork out. And now you have something that looks like that. Cutting on the inside of where all of that yarn was folded around the fork. Try very careful though not to cut these long tails. And some of these loops might be hidden in there a little bit, so you have to dig a little in. Okay, I believe I got all of the loops. Nope, I didn't. These are not the best scissors for this. Okay, so now you have something. It's okay if some of them fall out. So now you have something that's really starting to look like a pom-pom. And it's going to look a little jagged at first, so you have to give it a little trim. And there's, fluff it up a little bit, and there's the pom-pom. It's really cute. So now we're going to take our hat, crochet hook, stick the crochet hook into the center hole, okay, and use the crochet hook to pull all of these tails into the middle of the beanie. There we go. And in the middle of the beanie, thread your needle and just pick a stitch to run this through, and then tie a really, really tight knot a couple of times. Trim the tails, flip it right side out. And there you have it. Trim these tails and tie a knot for the hanger. And there it is. There's the little beanie Christmas ornament. I hope you guys make it. If you do, please let me know. Bye-bye.